What's up? I'm PETEXZEN. Welcome to my super fast functional studio where I record a ton of bands remotely from Germany to Japan to Mexico to Canada and local bands here in Los Angeles, as long as they don't have live drums at least, because otherwise we'll have to rent out another studio and do live drums there, because this studio is in my apartment, which is an ADU, which is like basically a garage that's a single bedroom connected to a house. The neighbors don't hear anything. At least they said they don't hear anything. Apparently they love music, so they're really cool about it. But yeah, we make great music here. I love this room. I have some great panels that I had custom built when I moved in, and I just want to show you around and tell you a little bit about my studio. This is where I make all my videos, and I think it would be cool to show all the routing and all the stuff that I created in the studio to make sure I can keep the creativity flowing. So let's get into it. I found this desk on Facebook Marketplace for a couple $100, maybe like 200, 300 bucks. And it's perfect for me because I can fit my TAC mixer right in the center. I have a bunch of rack space on the right, a bunch of rack space on the left, and then the speakers up top. And then there's just enough room for my keyboard in the front. So this works perfectly for the situation I'm in right now. I think once I start getting some more rack gear and stuff, I'll probably upgrade to something a little bit bigger, or maybe something flat that's like right in front of me. And then the next thing I had to get when we moved in was I had to get these panels because I couldn't bring any of my old panels with me. And I don't want to drill anything into the walls or ruin the walls because I don't want to lose a security deposit. So I found somebody on Facebook Marketplace who builds these panels, and I have 4 panels on wheels that I can roll out and turn into a vocal booth if I have somebody coming in to really sing really loud vocals. But most of the time, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'll just have them chill on the couch and sing, or I'll set up a stand right behind me and we can record that way. Or if my girlfriend's out of town, then I'll take our closet in the bedroom and set up the vocal mic in there. But so far, I've been loving this setup, and it's been really easy to just take apart and move things around so that I can continue to be creative quickly, which is the whole point of the studio. So first things first is I want to go over all my guitars, at least the super special ones to me anyway. I have a Fender Oxblood Jazzmaster here that has P90s in it, so it's really good for emo or like creamy music or clean guitar tones. And then I have my main go-to power chord ripper right now, which is the Fender Tele with the gold foil pickups, and that's what I use most of the time when I'm tracking my videos recently. And then I have my stage guitar. It's just a Strat with humbuckers. It's the HHSS, which is humbucker, single coil, and then it says 6.9 nice on the knobs. It has an on-off kill switch and a plug-in where it says it's my first time, and then 3 X's for straight edge, which I am straight edge if you didn't know. Not that anybody cares. Yeah, I basically just use this guitar for live because it looks cool. It doesn't really track super well. It plays really well. I feel like the Strat humbuckers are a little bit shrill. And then I have my OG orange single coil Tele, which is a great tracking guitar. It's really good for leads and like sort of like chimey sort of things. But I've just been loving this gold foil Tele recently, so I haven't been using it as much. I just used it today in a session, but it's not my everyday go-to anymore. And then I have my old touring Fender Mustang guitar, and it's a short scale, so it's cool. It makes me look taller. It's got P90s in it, so it's kind of a weird mix. It's something you can shred on, but also has P90s, which are a little bit more calm. And then a bunch of notes from my old guitar tech back in New Jersey, Tom, one of my good buddies. This like no-name like series guitar that was my dad's in high school, so it's kind of cool just to have it here and sometimes record some indie style stuff. And then just a bass. It's a Squier bass that has a Fender logo on it, and then another Squier baritone for lower tunings, and if I want to just get like weird with writing, then I use that thing. I knew Fender Mustang bass, really love that thing. It's easy to track on, it rumbles really nice. And then finally, the Fender King acoustic, which I just learned is the Elvis Presley model. The band that I just had in recording today told me that, and that thing sounds really sick. I just have it set to standard, and that's how I rip that. So anyway, let's work our way through the desk. First off, we have the most important piece of gear. It's a Kawasaki keyboard I've had since I was 3 years old. It really sounds really sick. Next, the way I have my vocal chain running is there's an XLR that comes out the front of the desk, and it'll patch right into this LA 610 over here, and then it drops down into the DBX 160, which I throw on sometimes for maybe something a little bit softer that needs to be brought up. And then I'll throw it into the Audioscape 76A, which is a blue stripe. I just got this thing, and it rips. This is what I crush vocals through before it hits my preamp. which I'll work over to the left now for that. So this is my preamp. I use the MBox Studio by Avid. It's a really sick interface. It has like 4 XLRs, 4 line inputs, and a couple outs. So I have some options to do some routing for outboard gear. So my vocal chain just runs through those other things and then straight into the MBox. And then I have the SSL patched into the patch bay, and also my TAC mixer patched into the patch bay. So usually the way that I'll run it is I'll have it come out of Pro Tools, go into the TAC goes into the SSL bus plus on my master bus. Now, if I wanted to route anything else out, like pedals, maybe like somebody else brought another pedal or another piece of gear, then usually what I would do is I just go straight out of the patch bay into it and back in, so I don't have to route through the back or have like hundreds of dollars of extra cabling on the back just so the cables are hidden. Let me show you the guitar chain, because this is actually where most of my workflow comes from and where a lot of the flavor in my videos comes from. So on the top here, I have this rack Korg tuner, and the cable will go straight in, and then it routes out the back, and then it goes all the way around the back, and it hits this big muff, and then it hits the lossy pedal, and then the mood pedal, and then most importantly, it hits this chorus pedal right here. When it hits the chorus pedal, it has an option to go out stereo, so I'll do stereo 1 and 2. So that's the way that when I'm tracking my videos or I'm recording a band, if I'm like, oh, this part is straight up, it's just like a little lick, and I don't want to double track it because sometimes that just makes it feel like kind of stale, I'll just chuck on the chorus pedal and it'll split it into stereo, and then I don't have to double track things, and I can have things feel a little bit more special right in the middle but not sound bland, so it's spread a little bit on the sides. And then the same thing with the big muff pedal. I do that a lot in my videos. I'll just do DI straight into big muff into the computer, which sounds really sick. Or if I want some sort of pad, then I'll throw on the mood or the lossy pedal and work that way. And then over here, I have my MIDI keyboard, which you've seen me use sometimes in my videos. I'll like just build beats out of that, and then I'll be really off time and I'll have to quantize it in Pro Tools. But it's nice to have this here so that I'm not drawing something in, because sometimes it's nice to really just like play the notes or play the beats and like have something actually special come out. So that's pretty much it. That's my quick tour of my studio and my general chains that I have going. I have a vocal chain, I have a guitar chain, I have my master output chain. That's my 3 things that really make my sound. And I really dialed them in so that I can quickly just pick up a guitar, start tracking, finish up a mix, plug in the TAC, set the EQ, set up the compressor with the SSL bus plus, and really level it out and make things sound sick. I'm sure my studio is going to evolve in a couple months, but it's nice to have these little time capsules of where my studio is at. So appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.